It's 8 a.m. Live, local, your Fox 29 Morning News starts now.
After a house, the second biggest investment we make is probably a car. Not surprisingly, most people have to finance car purchases these days. Fox 29 common sense lawyer Shari Olefson joins us now this morning with some tips so we can save a little bit of money. Is it intimidating to buy a car, Shari, because we don't do enough research? Because I have to admit, I think the few times I've bought a car, I've turned stupid when you get to the car lot.
It can be like going into the lion's den because they are ready and waiting for you, and they have all the tactics and the secrets, and we just are coming ill-equipped a lot of the time. But you know, nowadays we have a lot of new rules and reforms thanks to Dodd-Frank. We have the whole new Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, and all of those guys are designed really to protect us against abusive practices. Plus, we have a whole new economy. There are new ways that we make decisions now.
So it comes down to doing a lot of research and preparation.
Before you even think about what kind of car to get. We used to say, in the good old days, we used to say time is money, and that meant hurry up and do things quick. Nowadays, time is money means take your time and you will save money, particularly when it becomes time to prepare for buying a car. So there are three things that you really need to think about before you even look at models or features or anything like that. The first is how much can you afford? And today, to be conservative, most people should not be spending more than 15%, Roxanne, on their car payment. The second is how much do you need to save up for a down payment? And to get the good loan terms now, even a good borrower is going to need to save up about 10%. An average borrower is looking at about 10 to 15%. And a subprime borrower, which frankly 20% of borrowers are subprime car borrowers now, needs to be looking at about 20% down. For about 30% down, someone like that might qualify for the same type of loan that a prime borrower would get.
We're going through a lot of numbers here. When you say 15%, you mean 15% of their gross salary or their net salary?
15% of your take home.
Of what you take home is all you should spend on a car. So a lot of people really need to step back and say, realistically, this is what I can afford.
Before you even look at cars, get ready to buy a car. And the other thing is that, you know, dealers now, a lot of them are using the car auto industry option score. So that's a totally different credit score. You want to go to a dealer and have your auto option score pulled so you can see how you score on that.
But then you get there and you say, this is all I can afford. And it seems like there's some magical mathematics going on, that somehow you can do this and then we'll buy the car back at the end. You could lease it and do this or buy it and do that. How do you sort through all that and learn that jargon and understand what's best for you?
Well, some of the things that you need to do before you actually even arrive at the dealership is your homework on the car itself. So among those things, instead of choosing one car to fall in love with nowadays, we advise people to choose three. That way you and your pocketbook can be in love with the car that you actually get. You want to really look at all of those options, because one of the things manufacturers are doing now is loading up cars with options to make more money. A lot of those are options you're just not going to need and you really shouldn't be paying for. Your research today is comparable to what it used to be in the good old days. You want to look into maintenance records and reviews and mileage and value retention and things like that, but you're looking at those things for a little bit different reason, more financial, because those are actually hidden costs. In addition to your car payment every month, what that car is costing you in insurance, depreciation, maintenance, and fuel might actually cost more than your car payment. So that decision of a new or used car or a big or small car might actually be more heavily influenced by those four factors. It used to be we'd think a used car is less expensive, but if the insurance payments are more and the loan interest rate is going to be more, maybe not so.
I hadn't thought about some of the gas and the insurance. You know, there's sometimes a real how do you do when you call your insurance company and say, I bought this car, and you're all excited, and then you find out what the insurance is going to be.
We wait until afterwards, right? So we want to do that ahead of time now.
So time well spent on research can be money well spent.
Big money, especially when a car is your second biggest purchase. We spend this money, this time on a home. We don't spend this time on a car, but now we need to.
Well, yeah, cars cost as much as homes used to. In some cases.
You know, the majority of people who are turning in a trade-in are actually upside down now, up to $4,000 upside down. So we really need to think about it before we buy.
Do the research, and that's why it's so important. We're going to continue this discussion next week on car buying. Shari will be back with some tips on getting the very best loan for that purchase. Thanks again.
Sure.
Over to Lauren.
Some great advice. Ladies, thank you.